So in a few months I'll hit 4 years in trading, and I've had so many experience when it comes to forex trading. So I want to talk about something which some of us have heard, which has been a bad thing, which to me I don't really see it as something bad, which is greed. So to me, greed in trading is not completely bad. Why did I say it's not bad? I've noticed that so far in trading, I've been putting greed in a very wrong way until I have gotten to a point where I took so many losses. That was when I decided to change what greed actually is, how to put my greed in. So here's how greed is bad. Greed is bad in a way that what you do is that you put your greed, you put wanting to make money from the market in over trading. That is where greed comes in. You put your greed in taking trades when you have taken your maximum loss for the day. You're trading when your psychology is not bad, or you're trading with bad risk management. This is bad greed. There is a way you can set that greed which you have. You don't need to just destroy that greed you have in your mind. You don't need to destroy it and say, okay, I'm not supposed to be greedy in the market. You can be greedy, but in a good way. So you're doing that in a bad way. What I've noticed now is that over time, if you have been greedy in that bad way, you will notice that that greed you've been putting is not bringing anything back. So if you think in that way, why is it that I am greedy, I want to make more money from the market, but then whenever I do this kind of bad habits, I put all that energy, all that greed energy to over trading, to bad risk management, it doesn't give me any money. So it's not greed. If you look at it in a certain way, that's what you're doing is not greed. You are actually pushing yourself backwards. So even if you, let's say you size up, you go against your risk management plan, and then you increase that size, that position size, and then you make money from that particular risk money, that particular trade. Do you know that if you continue that way, you are still going to come back to where you were, or even go down? Yes, you're going to go down. So that is not greed. What's the point what's the point if I will make money now and then still lose it later? That is why I've never really enjoyed, I've never really had any interest when it comes to flipping in forex trading. I've never had interest. I've never. Even if I had $3 to say I want to risk, I would rather just eat it. I'd rather spend it, because I don't see any point in flipping. What if I flip from $3 let's say $3 to $10, and then if I try it again, if I keep trying it, I'll end up losing the account? There's no point. I just felt there's no point when it comes to flipping. So instead of putting your greed in things that are irrelevant, in bad risk management, in trading when your psychology is not well, in trading outside your plans, you have to understand that doing all these things is not going to bring you the money you are looking for. It's not going to bring you the money your greed is looking for at all. It's not. So with time, I removed the greed I had for bad risk management, for all those I mentioned. I removed the greed I had there and shifted it to another point. Why did I shift it to another point? I shifted it to that another point, to the point which I've noticed that, okay, this is the only place I can put my greed and actually make money. So where I shifted my greed to was when I understood that whenever I took all those bad trades, I got greedy in a very wrong way. It gives me losses. So after so many years, just as I mentioned in the beginning, in a few months I'll reach 4 years in trading. So after years and years and years of seeing bad risk management, bad psychology trading and all that, I have seen clearly that these things does not work at all, does not give me any money at all. That is when I check back at my statistics and realize that this thing actually doesn't work. This me putting greed on bad risk management doesn't work. I have to shift it to another point. So this greed, I picked it from putting it there and shifted it to a point where I will only be greedy by being patient. I will only be greedy by taking A plus setup. Anything outside A plus setup is definitely me being less greedy. I don't know if you understand. It's better I won't risk more on an A plus setup than actually just be taking bad setup. I don't know if you understand. That's in a strategic way, not just adding risk anyhow. So I shifted my greed from bad risk management, from bad psychology, to patience and discipline. So if you if you can be able to shift your greed from all that to this and completely understand, I know most of the time it will be very hard, very hard to believe or to accept that if I'm patient, things are actually going to work out well. If I'm disciplined, I follow my rules, things are actually going to work out well. It is very hard because me, before I understood that this is what actually works, I had to go through so much pain from bad risk management and others. So I clearly had proof. Me, I was the one that acted upon all those bad behaviors, and then I saw proof that these things actually don't work, until I now decided that okay, let me change and actually be disciplined. So I know that not revenge trading does not feel good. Not revenge trading does not feel good. Trading outside your plan feels very good. To be honest, it feels very good. That is why you're doing it. That is why we are doing it. Because then you wonder, why is it that I will set a plan and then I'll come back and then I'm not following it? It's because it feels good to do it. In trading, I always believe this is a recent realization. I'm not going to say always. This is a recent realization. I realized that trading, for you to trade properly, for you to trade successfully, it will have to be boring. Why would it be boring? It will be boring because you will be submissive to your rules, and it will feel as if you're a slave to it. And that is how trading is. You will write down rules, make sure you write down clear rules, clear plans, and then you follow it without questions. Exactly, that's how slaves do. They follow their masters without questions. So your rules will be like a master to you in trading. So if you're thinking that okay, this thing is supposed to feel fun for me, it's not going to feel fun. And I see this is one of the reasons why people leave easy strategies like price action and others and go to all those. I'm not going to say they are not working, they are working. All strategies are working to complicated strategies like SMC, ICT. They are not really complicated, but to some of us they are complicated. It's more, I would say it's more complicated than price action. Yes, I would say that. It's more complicated by price action. So people go to SMC because they see that okay, I'll mark out break of structure, I'll mark out liquidity sweep, I'll mark out my order block. So when price does this, come back. But with price action, I'll just come and notice what exactly is price doing, and then I'll wait to see what price will do before I take entry. You can see how boring price action is. So you wouldn't want to trade price action because of how boring it is. You want something active, something that will make you look like an analyst. But that is not what trading needs of you. Trading just wants you to have one thing you're looking for on those charts, and then just continue executing, just keep repeating. And that's what SMC gives. That's the vibes it gives. And that is why so many people don't succeed in SMC. It works, but so many people don't succeed. They give a different view to it. They think okay, when there's a break of structure on this particular chart I'm seeing, on the next time maybe it's not a break of structure, it's a change of character, like it's looking different. To just look like you're analyzing different market conditions, but you're just supposed to look for one kind of model, one kind of setup, and continue executing that. And definitely, as I said, it's going to be boring. Imagine you coming back every single day to look for one thing, to look for one kind of setup, and if it's not there, you will have to leave the chart. Yes, there are opportunities. You're seeing candles moving, you can take trades from there. You're seeing candles selling, you can take trades from there, but you cannot do anything about it because you have to be patient. You have to submit to your rules and just trade that one single model which you are trading. So that is it about greed. You just have to shift your mindset from putting your greed on bad risk management, putting your greed on bad psychology trading, putting your greed on trading outside your plans. All these things is going to bring you to ruin. Yes, you can win at a point, but over time it's not going to bring you anything. You're going to come back to zero. You just have to understand it 100%. I'm saying this because I've experienced the pain, and someone watching this can just look and observe and be like, yeah, I've been doing this for 5 months, and yeah, it has been bringing me back to zero. Instead of me continuing into this pain, this guy has just told me his own experience. He has been doing it for years, and still it did not work. So instead of doing that, shift your greed to patience, shift your greed to discipline, shift your greed to submitting to your rules. You will notice that things will start changing slowly. Things will just start changing slowly, and that is the only way you can make money from forex. That is the only way you can make money. Believe me, any other thing, any other impulsive things you think is not going to make you money. Don't put so much effort on strategy. Strategy is different from having an edge. Create an edge with that strategy. Make sure you know exactly what you're looking for on the chart, and it's written down, something you can explain in less than 30 seconds. Your strategy, make it very simple, and then just learn to follow that thing. Learn to be disciplined, learn to follow the same risk management. So that's it. If you really enjoyed this, I would really appreciate if you subscribe, give a like, and also comment. I'll catch you in another video.